All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is June 4th, 2025, episode 438. Sorry, car going by. Hopefully the audio turns out alright. I did do a testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wearing a hat right now. I took a bath last night. So my hair's a wreck. Woke up early today. Ran some errands. So, I did an episode the other day. It was a occult item show and tell. Go check that episode out. I picked up a bunch of occult items and stuff and was show and telling them. So, one of the things I got was money soap. And okay. I do like occult items and I do like to experiment with them and collect them and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of skeptical on the money soap thing at first. So I'm just gonna tell you, I told you guys I'd give you an update on what I thought about it. So I bought some and hang on. Well, I'll just explain it to you instead of showing it to you. I ain't gotta show it to you. And I used it last night, taking a bath and shaving and stuff. And when I got out of the bathtub, my left hand started itching. And I'm an occultist. I've been in the craft since I was 15, 16, somewhere around there. I left Christianity and became a male witch. So one thing that I've learned is it's said basically the superstition is if your left hand itches, that means that money is on the way. So I thought that was odd after I took the bath and used the money soap. And then today I got up early, and by the way, the stuff smells really good. I wish I could well, in the future you'll be able to do smell-o-vision. But so what I was saying though is so that happened, and then I woke up early this morning and I had to go shopping because I ran out of melatonin. Or I'm about to run out. So I went up to Kroger and they have melatonin for $15. And it's buy one, get one free. Which is okay, so I'm saving money. And then I had a feeling I went to Kroger last week. And I always check their clearance section. Just to see if there's anything good. And I was finding energy drinks that were $1 a piece. So I bought 4 of them. I still have one at my workplace that I keep in the cooler. And I was like, there's no way they're still going to have some after a week. Because I used to work at Kroger, and anything in that clearance section goes like hotcakes. It's gone in 2 seconds. So I was like, there's no fucking way that it's going to be there. Turns out, dude, there was I'm talking 16 of these cans still there. So I went and bought 4 more for $1 a piece. And I don't drink energy drinks anymore, but this is a natural one. All it has is caffeine and then vitamins in it and protein and shit. So I was like, I don't consider that drinking an energy drink. It's not like a Red Bull. It's not I think it's a brand called Accelerate or something. That was my New Year's resolution 2 or 3 years ago. Was to stop drinking energy drinks. And I haven't had one in 2 or 3 years, so but anyways, so I got 4 more for $1 a piece, and I'm saving money because I usually do get Black Rifle coffee at work, or a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, or a Starbucks coffee, and that's $3.30, $3.50 sometimes. So it's like, dude, I don't know if the money soap's working, but in my opinion, so far, you guys know me. I use occult items. I have a whole series. Go check that series out. It's a playlist I made on YouTube of, I think it's just occult items. Um, and you guys know I make occult items. I collect occult items. I use occult items and review them on if I think they're legit or not. I'm starting to think this money soap's legit. And it was $3.99. So I don't know. I'm just saying that's the update on that. Go check that episode out. Go check out that playlist if you're interested in occult items. I need to save that last episode on that playlist. But, alright. So, since we're on the subject of occult items, today's episode is actually about one of the world's largest occult items. So, first off, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. Whether I only put out on 3 different platforms. I put out on Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. So if you're listening to any of those, just click on the channel info and you should be able to find a link to it. If you choose to give $1, it helps me out because I use a lot of papers and pens with this channel with my notes. It goes towards the channel, so it helps me out because I don't make any money off this channel. So that's just if you want to, if you feel it in your heart to give, please do. That'd be nice. And yeah, I'd appreciate it. So got that out of the way. Oh, today though, we're going to talk more about occult items. So today we're talking about the world's largest occult item, world's largest Ouija board. Of all places, of course, Salem, Massachusetts, where obviously the Salem witch trials went down. I have like a little connection to that. And the headquarters for Lucian Greaves is Greaves, or is it Graves? I don't know. Either way, it sounds cool as fuck. Greaves, like you're grieving. Graves sounds cool too, like Michael Graves from the Misfits. And he has like a fucked up eye too, man. So like it's very fitting for him to be like the leader of the temple, Satanic Temple. Their headquarters is there too. So we're gonna cover that, and let's get into the show. Oh, disclaimer. So this was brought to my attention literally the other day. I didn't hear about this at all. This is actually old news, but it was a new video that I was watching. It was a TikTok conspiracy compilation with someone reacting to it. And the person who put out the TikTok, put it out as news. And it's not really news. This actually happened in February 2024. So if this is old news to you, I'm sorry. As someone who keeps up with the paranormal, the occult, and conspiracies, this totally slipped past my radar. I don't know how I missed this. I don't know. So this is my first time reporting on this. This is my first time hearing about it. But I hope you enjoy. And let's get on with the show. Oh, one thing I forgot to say. So, yeah, when I went to Kroger, I got $44 worth of stuff for $25. So, literally half price. So, yeah, I think the money soap's working. Disclaimer on the Ouija board. So, there is 2 episodes I did. One, I made a homemade Ouija board. So, if you're listening on Spotify or Rumble, sorry, you're last on the line, but Spotify, I will try to put out those 2 episodes onto Spotify. They're not podcast, but I think I'm just going to put them on as podcast episodes anyways. So look forward to that. I'll write a note and I'll take care of that. So if you are listening on Spotify, you can go check it out. I'll try to remember when I have some free time, have my wife help me edit and stuff. I have made my own Ouija boards in the past. One, and then I have one that I own that someone gave me. I've experimented with both. I've actually filmed it and done a paranormal investigation on Ouija board. Not gonna lie, dude. I hear all these crazy stories about Ouija boards, and I do think they're interesting, they're entertaining. But when I used one, me and Sammy both used it together, and we literally got it to point to like one letter. I don't remember which letter it was. It doesn't even really matter which letter it was because we got it to point to like one letter. That was it. I don't know. I'm very super skeptical on Ouija boards. And look, man, I was born and raised Christian. I know there is something to Christianity. But I also know that there's something to every religion. As cliche as it sounds, I think it's just different ways to find God and to connect with the paranormal and spiritual realm. So if you're expecting me to have this opinion of like woo-woo, super Christian, or like anti-Ouija board, or I'm like, be careful, like, you're not going to get that out of me. I know that magic is real. I've seen it work in my life. I know that the paranormal's real. I've had paranormal experiences, but I've never had any experience with my Ouija boards. I've had them in my house. I've never had any form of like opening portals or hauntings because of it. And I've heard like horror stories of, don't ever touch a Ouija board, this will happen. I'm sorry, it's entertainment hearing those stories, but I don't really believe most of them. Sorry. So, world's largest Ouija board. World record in Salem, Massachusetts. This is February 8th, 2024. And this is from the World Record Academy. So here's the basic story of it. Salem, Massachusetts. Oh, that's a picture of it. Hang on just a second. Alright, so yeah, it's actually older than I thought it was, man. This is like 2020. This says, the first one I found was 2024, now it's 2020. So this was posted by a Ray Ball. So this is actually old news, but for some reason, I'm just now hearing about it, and people are just now reporting on it. So here's what it looks like, and I will use it as the thumbnail, I'm sure. But it's pretty big. That's in a field in Salem. World's largest Ouija board, Salem, Massachusetts. Stormy skies cast just the right ambience for the October 12th, 2019 unveiling of the world's largest Ouija board on Salem Common in Salem, Massachusetts. If the standard Ouija session involves hushed questions whispered in a darkened seance room. I hope you enjoy the ambience, by the way. Look how dark it is right now. I honestly, I sit around in the dark most of the time, you know. But it's fitting for the episode. Whispered in a darkened seance room, Rick or Mortis Shreks. So his last name is Shrek. Obviously, I don't think that's his real last name. I think that this is a play on, or an homage to Nicholas Shrek, I believe his name was, which was Anton LaVey's son-in-law. He was the lead singer of basically the Church of Satan's music brand. I think they had like a recording company called Radio Werewolf, and there was a band called Radio Werewolf, and he was the lead singer. If we have time, I'll actually play you a song or something of Radio Werewolf, because it's not bad. There's a song that Zena LaVey, the daughter of Anton, sang of a cover of These Boots Were Made for Walking, and it's pretty badass, honestly. So I think he's kind of doing like an homage tip of the hat to Nicholas Shrek. Maybe we'll do a whole deep dive on Nicholas and Xena and Anton. I need to anyways. I haven't really covered too much in this channel. I think the most I covered was one episode of the hierarchy of the Church of Satan. Go check that episode out. It goes deep. So, this Rick Shrek, or Mortis, record-breaking rendition of the talking board game is the otherworldly communication equivalent of shouting through a bullhorn with the volume pegged to the max. Shrek earned Ripley's Believe It or Not status on October 12th, 2019. Okay. So he got on Ripley's Believe It or Not. He might have just gotten then in 2024 the world's Guinness Book of World Records. So I think that's why that other article was 2024. When he and several volunteers unveiled Ouija-zilla, is what they named it, the world's largest Ouija board and planchette on Salem Common in Salem, Massachusetts. The board, which took Shrek a year and a half to build in his one-car garage in Middlesex, New Jersey. So that's kind of impressive that he built it, because it does look like in the photo that he kind of like pieced it together like a puzzle. So, looks like plywood, and then maybe sanded, painted, and like some form of gloss over it. Maybe like polyurethane or something. It's polyurethane, man. It can climb on walls. If you know what movie I'm referencing, hit me up in the comments. It's composed of 99 sheets of plywood, so I got that right. It clocks in at more than 4.5 tons, and it measures 72 feet by 44 feet. So that's huge as fuck and heavy as fuck. The 400-pound planchette, dang, or Ouija-zilla's foot, as Shrek has dubbed it, that's funny, spans 15.5 feet in length, but can be operated by a single person. So I'm guessing he put wheels on it or something then. Thanks to Shrek's inventive ingenious. Quote, it initially rested on 3 bowling balls to be used as the ball bearings. That's pretty fucking smart. So you'd have to fill in the finger holes, like maybe with cement or something. Fill those in and shave it down and repolish the ball, I'd imagine. But the movement wasn't smooth enough for my liking, so I replaced them with strong caster wheels. Okay, so it's got wheels. And you can see at the bottom here, it's got boxes over them, so you can't see the wheels. But I'm guessing they'd be kind of like a shopping cart, like rotatable, you know? Just a theory. He said it glides without much effort at all, so that works better. Shrek, whose nickname is a play on the phrase rigor mortis, is a talking board devotee, having amassed a collection of about 200 of the items and constructing many more. So he has over 200 Ouija boards that he's collected. He presently serves as vice president of the Talking Board Historical Society, based in Pinehurst, Massachusetts. There is a talking board, Ouija board museum that I want to go to, like world's largest collection of Ouija boards. That would be so fucking cool, dude. I want to go to Salem in general to check out where the witch trials went down, check out the Satanic Temple headquarters, because they have a gift shop too, and I know I'd buy a shit ton of merch. Hail Satan. Shrek conceived of Ouija-zilla after a phone call with TBHS President Robert Murch. I was telling Murch I wanted to paint a football field as a Ouija board, then put my truck with a planchette on top in the center. After putting the truck in neutral, wanted to see if it would move. That's ingenious paranormal investigation, just like a genuine idea. Yeah, just to see if it would steer and move itself. That's awesome. The conversation, as well as the idea, grew and got more ridiculous over the years, and somehow Ouijazilla was born. Or, as Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. And Shrek found a way to make his aspiration come true. He drew a sectioned blueprint of the board's design, mounted individual plywood sheets on a frame out of order. I'm not a very organized person, he said, and traced and hand painted the graphics according to the image produced by a projector from across the garage. So, like laser projection to trace it. That's smart. This dude's innovative as fuck, man. The most time-consuming part was getting 99 panels in groups and numbering them on the backs and sides, then stacking them like a deck of cards. The panels weigh about 70 pounds each, so it was quite a workout. So he's probably ripped by the time he's done building this. The project was largely a solo effort, but there were times I had help, or at least some company, Shrek said. My wife, Kate, spent freezing winter nights and boiling summer days helping me. My daughters, Winter and Samara, that's a beautiful name, Winter. I love like those like witchy type of names. I almost named my daughter Storm or Rain. That was my two ideas because I love rainy weather. I was like, that'd be awesome. Helped out with staining as well as cutting wood. My friend and tattoo shop co-owner Jill helped out with staining. So he owns a tattoo shop. So shout out to his tattoo shop. Go check it out. During the production project, Shrek tested portions of the board to gauge measurements and progress. Twice I brought out 21 boards into our parking lot to get an idea. It took hours each time, he said, noting it was never assembled by more than 6 boards at a time, so I had to trust my measurements. He said the most gratifying part of the process was watching the forklift loading the truck the day we were leaving. I was like, this is really happening. I ain't gonna lie, dude, there's gonna be a lot of negative people in the comment sections who are just like, this is evil, you know. But I'm like, dude, this just sounds fucking fun and awesome. I don't know. That, and honestly, dude, if you're a Christian and you're scared of like a board and a planchette, like, I thought your God was like all powerful. Like, just saying, like, you're scared of a piece of cardboard. You know. Shrek and his team made the 267-mile trip to Salem for the inaugural revealing. The beast was delivered in custom crates by truck by Transamerica Trucking. So shout out to them, he said. Took a team of about 25 hours. Took a team of people about 25 hours of the course of 2 days to assemble. So about, 40 hours in a work week. So that's like half a work week right there just to assemble it. Shrek lavished kudos on those who assisted him. The giant cost of this undertaken was care of by friends who are listed as sponsors on the board. The Salem appearance was made possible by John Kozik, who also serves as Talking Board Historical Society and owns the Salem Witchboard Museum. That's the one I was talking about. The Salem Witchboard Museum. So shout out to them. One day, man, when I'm a millionaire, I'm traveling out there and I'm checking it out, dude. The crew who assembled the board are the true heroes. I would have given up without them. We assembled this giant in nor'easter storm. Many times I almost quit, but they kept me focused. Ouijazilla dwarfs by 1.5 times the previous record holder for the largest Ouija board installed by Blair Murphy on the roof of his 32-room Grand Midway Hotel in Windber, Pennsylvania, and that was in 2016. So we'll need to maybe do an episode on him too and check that out. I'm gonna write that down. We'll probably just start a whole playlist on Ouija board, because it'll probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 episodes worth of like info on just Ouija board as a subject. Because I do want to dive into this guy as a side episode, or at least a segment on a future episode, because I want to see the previous record. Guinness World Records still recognizes Murphy's incarnation as the largest Ouija board, because Shrek's creation is bordered by advertisements acknowledging the individuals and businesses who helped him with his project. So, okay. So Guinness hasn't given him... I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that. I thought Guinness... Okay, interesting. Nevertheless, shrugging aside the technicality, Ripley's bestowed the superlative upon Shrek the day of Ouija-Zilla's unveiling. So Ripley says that he has the biggest, but Guinness World Records doesn't. Okay, interesting. So, in my opinion, it's almost a tie. So, maybe we'll do another episode on the other guy. And so technically, depends on who you think is more, like, legit. Are you a Guinness World Records guy, or are you a Ripley's Believe It or Not? Because it sounds like it's almost a tie, you know, unless you're like Pepsi or Coke, you know. This season's Salem Common reprise is iffy. Anthropomorphizing his brainchild, Shrek said, Ouijazilla is afraid of the current pandemic, so he chooses to stay in his lair and hibernate until the coast is clear. He did announce, however, that the planchette will make an appearance at the Michigan Paranormal Convention in Sault Ste. Marie in August of next year. So, sounds like he chickened out on unveiling it in 2019. Maybe that's why there was some confusion with the articles. And because I do know this, man, Salem, it is strange to me, because like I had a commenter one time, and it was one of the coolest comments I ever got. And it was a chick, and she was like, holy shit, like, you're a truth channel, a truther, I think is what she said. You're a Republican and voting for Trump, and you're an occultist. And I'm like, yeah, we do exist. But you'll notice one thing within like the occult or Wiccan or Satanist or anything that is like pagan or non-Christian. Pagan would be the best term. You'll notice a lot with the pagan community, like myself, who's non-Christian, anti-Christian, that a lot of us are like super fucking liberal, which is I've never been that way. I'm like classic liberal. So like the whole COVID shit, like I never bought into that, dude. I screamed at the rooftops about that shit. I mean, go look at my old episodes, you know. But I never stopped being an occultist. I never stopped being a classic liberal. I mean, I am a registered Republican, but that was to vote for Trump during Trump's second, the one that got stolen, during that time period, you know. But for the most part, like, it's like, dude, you can be an occultist or be pagan or be Wiccan and not be like a super retarded progressive liberal. I'm just saying, like, you can be an occultist and not be retarded, you know. So it sounds like he bought into the whole pandemic thing and was like, you know, I can't unveil it. We all got to wear masks and be 6 feet apart. And it's so stupid. But there you go. World's largest Ouija board. Sounds like there's another one. We'll have to do a whole episode on it. Salem, Massachusetts, where the witch trials took place. It's a very paranormal area, dude. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments, and there should be at least one more episode that I put out today. I got to do some chores. I did a little bit of chores today, but I got to wash the dishes, and then I got to weed eat the lawn. So, love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, have a good day.